women, we have the right, if we get pregnant, we have the right not to be mothers, right?
Yeah.
Should men then, in the name of equality, have the right not to be fathers? Their wallet, their choice. They can sign off on child support. Why?
Right, no, because if you had sex with a woman, you fully know well that one of the consequences is that you will fully pregnant her and you have a child. So you have to look after the child as that's your responsibility. Your sperm, your responsibility. Okay, you can't run away from that. Okay, I don't understand why people in their mind think it's alright to run away from the child. That's a child. You're leaving them with so much trauma, having no dad and everything. That will leave them with severe ideas of how they think about men. Because I'm not talking about my perspective. I've seen people's perspective with no fathers. They act in a certain way with people that have a father, in contrast with people that have a father, and it's not right. So if you're a man, wait, what's the question again?
Wait, can I say something?
Yeah, say something.
I just want to say, I feel like, so obviously, mothers and fathers, they're equal to some degree.
Yeah.
But I feel like as a mother, what mothers experience, when they're pregnant, when they give birth, everything they experience is to a whole different degree than what a father would experience.
Yeah.
And it's I get mothers and fathers, they both they might love their child to the same degree. They might be present in the child's life to the same degree, but it's it's easier for a dad to leave than it is for a mother to leave, because what the mother has to go through to give birth.
Yeah.
So
emotional support. You're meant to be there for emotional support.
And do you know what? I know,
you're not there pushing the child out.
And I know this is okay, maybe not all guys are like this, but do you know how many men are they're the ones that are oh, I don't want to use a condom, or it doesn't fit me, I'm too big. They use all these. Sorry,
So the argument you guys are making, I could very similarly say the same thing to women. You choose who you sleep with. You get to pick if the guy wears a condom or not. So to me, it's in the name of equality, shouldn't they have the same rights we do?
Yeah.
But no, you just argue. So I'm saying if we have an accidental pregnancy, okay? Let's say I have a man. I know it's shocking, but let's say and I get pregnant on accident, right? So neither of us planned this. We don't want this kid, but I say I can't have an abortion because some girls can't. And he says I don't want to be a father. Shouldn't he have the same right to leave that I do if I leave? Because I can give up the kid for adoption too.
I feel if the woman decides to have the baby, I feel the father, he should have the right to be okay, I don't want to be in this child's life, I want to leave. I feel he should still pay the child support. He should have to he can sign his rights away to the child, be I'm never, but what the thing is, he has to promise that he'll never come back randomly, because what fathers love to do, they love to come back maybe 10-15 years later and then decide, okay, I'm ready to be a dad. You don't get to choose when you're ready.
Where is the responsibility on women though for the men we choose to sleep with?
What do you mean by that?
So a lot of times what I see girls that pick men to sleep with that really aren't husbands and they're not fathers. Yeah. And they know damn well they're not husbands and they're not fathers. And they get pregnant and they want all this sympathy, and now they get a check. Yeah. Right? And so the problem with the laws the way it is they're incentivizing women to get kids off of rich guys. So I had a guy that sat down earlier and he said, I was rich and this girl trapped me with a baby because she said she was on birth control. And I understand he should have taken more precautions, but a man can do everything, right? Say Drake, right? You remember what happened with Drake? Yeah, so he did right. But let's think about it, right? Do you really think he didn't think to wrap it up with I'm gonna say corn star? You really think he did when he's a player, right? Yeah. He knows she's a corn star. He probably did. She probably stole it. Yeah. Why do you think he's doing it in the future?
Stuff like that isn't okay. Definitely, I don't think that when she went behind his back and tried to impregnate herself, stuff like that isn't okay. But when the whole thing is okay, well, you chose to have sex with this guy, but
you chose to have sex with him too.
You chose to have sex with him, but consenting to sex isn't the same as consenting to having a baby. But some women just don't want they might not want to have a baby, but they don't want to have abortion more than they don't want to have a baby. Do you know what I mean?
Right, so then they have adoption. So they could still choose not to be a mother.
But I don't think you understand the whole adoption process. One, adoption, the system is so fucked.
It's so messy.
Adoption, the system is so fucked, and I can understand, as a woman, you don't understand how hard it is for some women to maybe give their baby away, even if they, in that moment, after you've given birth, you've been through these 9 months, you've carried this baby, you're holding this baby and you don't want to give it away, but you know that it's what you have to do. It's a really, difficult situation, and even if you give that baby away, a lot of the adoption system, it's so fucked. It's not it's not necessarily, they think that they're giving their baby away. It's like the best possible option, but that's not always the best option. And people's argument is like, how could you do that to the baby? Like, they might not have a good life, but babies, they don't even gain consciousness until like how many months old. So
Like
a baby
9 months.
being aborted, the baby doesn't know that it's being aborted if it hasn't lived. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I know what you mean.
I feel like I'm just chatting rubbish.
I'm just curious, like just going with this logic, right? Do you think like a week before she gives pregnancy, because it's her body, her choice, she should be able to have an abortion?
I think if it's like a week before she's about to give birth, if the doctors tell her, okay, when you give birth, you're gonna like, I'm pretty sure that's not even legal. It's not even legal. But if we're like debating whether it should be okay or not,
We could do a month, right? I'm just saying, like, at what point?
at what point she should be able to abort the baby?
Like early on.
Yeah.
Early
2
on.
weeks early. Like, you just got
1 to 2
pregnant.
weeks.
Yeah, 1 to 2 weeks. You kill the baby right then.
that's not long enough though.
Babe, 3 weeks.
Do you know how it takes a woman maybe like 2 weeks to even figure out that she's
3 to
pregnant?
4 weeks, and then she kills off. That's the longest you
I
go.
think in the UK it's like 6 weeks.
It's 6 months in the UK.
Months.
So it's actually crazy.
No, you can't kill a child 24 weeks.
Yes.
My God.
No,
Yeah,
so crazy stat. The earliest child to survive a pregnancy is 21 weeks, and it's illegal up to 24.
Seriously.
Yes, and it's free
I
here.
feel like before she should like abort it, but not after that. Like that feels wrong.
As in abort it after she's given birth.
Yeah. Well, no. Well, I'm saying the reason I asked was because you said the baby's not conscious till like 6 months, so they won't know, right? So when you said that, I'm thinking, okay, well then it sounds like you could abort it after.
No.
I'm not-
You
I'm
shouldn't
not-
abort baby after it's been born. I want to just clear that up.
I'm not gonna edit this. I'm gonna keep it
Yeah.
unedited. So they'll see. Yeah.
I don't know. I just think like, because obviously I've never been in that position, so I'm not gonna try and like judge how women will feel in that position, because people love to give their opinion on this and that and the other, but they've never been in that situation. So you can say you believe in this, but when you're in that situation, your opinions might change completely. So that's why I just feel like everyone should just have the choice. I don't know. I don't get what the question is. What is the question?
The question is, should men have the choice? And that's what I'm talking about.
Solution. I feel like it shouldn't always be like, okay, just give it up for adoption then. I feel like there's too much to debate about for that.
So I want to tell you guys, do you have time or do you have to go? I don't know how much. Okay.